Welcome back to the Middlemen, still on Enterprise TV. My case, much ado about 2025 Ramadan and school closure. Now the governors of Katsina, Kebbi, Bauchi and Kano states have closed public and private schools for the 1 month period of Ramadan, spanning 5 weeks anyway. In the media, the case is up and various voices are asking, is this fair to Muslim students as well as Christian students and Christian-owned schools as well? Anyway, the closure raises serious questions about the secular nature of our country, Nigeria, and the rights of all citizens in the states where they reside, according to Initiative for Research, Innovation and Advocacy in Development, IRIAD. Approximately 18.3 million children remain out of school as of late 2024, making Nigeria the country with the highest number of out-of-school children globally. In all of these states, Governor Dikko Rada of Katsina State is well educated to a PhD level in agriculture and rural sociology. Governor Nasir Idris of Kebbi State holds a PhD in education. The governor of Sokoto State, Ahmad Aliyu, also holds a doctorate in business administration. And Dauda Lawal from Zamfara State is a 1992 master's degree holder in political science and international relations, while Governor Gauna Yusuf of Kano holds a bachelor's degree in biochemistry. With all of these, their academic credentials, how did they agree to close school? How did the North, with governors this educated, end up with strange, obnoxious, nasty, and distasteful directives that shut schools for Ramadan? Now, how did the North get here, and how will the region ever get out of this cesspit of affliction? According to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, Bauchi, Gombe, Jigawa, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara have the lowest literacy rates. Not surprising is that these states are also among the 10 states with the highest poverty rates in Nigeria. Katsina, Kebbi, Bauchi and Kano states are among those with the highest percentage of out-of-school children. Kano alone boasts 39%, way above national average of 28.7%. The Nigerian Constitution, along with various international treaties to which Nigeria is a signatory, guarantees the right to education for all citizens. The decision to close schools during Ramadan violates these principles and sets a dangerous precedent that prioritizes religious observances over the educational rights of students. My verdict. Some analysts say President Tinubu, Attorney General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Education Minister, President of the Nigerian Governors Forum, and the National Assembly are tacitly in support of the closure of schools in some of the northern states based on their silence so far. My case is rested here.
When President Tinubu puts forward a candidacy that was Muslim in 2023, some people had fears. Some of us were saying, are they going to force us to go and become Muslims? What we see is the result of some of those fears right now.
Okay.
That if you had a Christian vice president, would he also be quiet while you're closing school for 30 days? There are 3 issues in this case for me. 1, we're holier than the Pope, if I say it like that. We say that we're a secular state, but we really aren't. Every meeting, gathering, conference, or whatever it is that we have, we will open with prayers. If we're truly secular, your religion should be personal. Pray in your bedroom, pray in your heart. It shouldn't be something that we do officially. But we're very religious on the surface, yet we are the poverty capital of the world, and corruption thrives here.
Insecurity.
Now, look at governors who themselves have doctorate degrees, bachelor degrees, masters, closing schools for 30 days. Saudi Arabia has not closed schools.
Indonesia is the largest Muslim country in the world.
If you wanted to close schools, there the summer vacations and things like that, maybe you'd reorganize the educational calendar to fall so that your long vacation falls within your Ramadan, But I've been to Dubai, right? The only reason they would shut down during the day is, it is hottest between 12 noon and 4 o'clock. Everybody go for a nap. Shops, schools, everybody shuts down. Go and sleep. Then come back in the evening when the sun has gone down. Even at that, everywhere you go to, including bus stops, there are air conditioners there because of their hot, country. So rather than look at Nigeria, what's our problem? In 2023, we had 20.5 million children out of school between the age of 6 and 14, right? So now we have reduced it to 18.3 by the end of 2024 from your case, right? Rather than build on that, which is, what's our problem? If our children are out of school, what's the future of the country? No, we are shutting down schools. Long vacation is 3 months shut down. You will now use Ramadan to shut down for another 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
So that your children will end up on the street. So now after Ramadan, you gotta call them from the street and say, come back, schools have resumed.
It's appalling.
We're a contraction that is obviously dead on arrival.
We must be serious with the idea that we must separate the states from religion. Okay, these are theories that were canvassed in the early times with most of the greatest philosophers, that there is a need for us to separate religion from the state, because now you are closing school because of Ramadan. What is exactly is it the first Ramadan that we're having, this particular one? In the previous ones, did they close down schools?
Were the children fainting in class?
The fact is that I don't even think children should be forced into fasting. I mean, because these things should be
compulsory.
Should be voluntary. I do not think that, apart from the fact that religion is personal, okay, activities within the religion is also voluntary. Should be voluntary. Okay, whoever wants to partake should partake. Whoever don't want to should stay away from. So when you now shut down school because it means that the leaders don't even understand the effect of education. Okay, we give more credence to religion than education, which is unfortunate.
Very, very
unfortunate. Little wonder we're not developing at all. Okay, because instead of us to invest in the minds of these children, okay, expose them to technology, STEM, science, okay, where the world is going to, the world is actually going somewhere, okay, we should train them to be able to catch up. But then we're talking about shutting down the whole school just because people are fasting. I mean, religion, imported religion, that have no roots in our tradition, in our culture, and the rest of that. And then when you do that, the children are the victim, because it is these adults that are the one frustrating children. Okay, now you are tying them around what you know. Those religion that was introduced to you in the days of old, they have all expired. They have expired because they are not, they are not catering for the future. They are not driven to determine the growth of humanity in the future, in the nearest future. No.
Very true.
Okay, so we should do away with all those practices and allow the children to go to school. Because a term is 13 weeks, for example. When you take away 5 weeks from 13 weeks, what do you have left? Okay, so you distort the entire calendar and the rest of that. So I don't think this is right at all. This is very, very
wrong. Again, what happens to Christians in those states?
Well, like he asked, is this our first Ramadan? If hundreds of Ramadans have gone well, what is unique with this? And that's where people are saying that because by now we've heard nothing from the education minister, we've heard nothing from the attorney general. The sections of governors have taken an action that is not popular. The governors forum have a head. No comment from them. The president, commander-in-chief, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, no comment on this. The National Assembly, the highest lawmaking body, where some of these children's representatives are. We've not heard from the reps. representing them. So I think the dead horse case flows into this, and it tells us that, like he said, yes, a lot of laws emanate from religion, but I think it's time we need to separate law from religion, because religion continually blurs the sentimental aspects the law possessed, as it were.
I have a question. It's not a question, it's a statement. It's sort of a question that except the governors know something that they're not telling us. For instance, security reasons. Why do I mention that? On the 14th of April 2014, when the Chibok girls were abducted, right? We all criticized, the governor for not listening, to advise, to have shut down schools.
At that time.
They wanted to write WAEC in Bauchi, and they said, security reports said, look, it is dangerous. Boko Haram is lurking around. Move them to safer states to go and write their WAEC. The governor didn't listen. So we blamed him at that point. Now, if he had intelligence, right, that he could work with, that listen, we do not have the capacity to recover, because prior to that, 70 boys were killed in a secondary school in Yobe, same 2014. So we had been having dastardly terrorism attacks before the Chibok abductions. If he,
they were slaughtered in their dreams.
I'm telling you, I cannot forget that case. Now, if the governor had intelligence, because if your primary role as a governor is to secure your citizens, and you have intelligence that says that the state will not be secure so I'm citing that example to say, these governors that have shut down schools, do they have an intelligence report that they cannot tell us about, that we may now hear later, that will make us feel, okay, they did the right thing? Because they didn't shut down during Ramadan last year, and all the 100 previous Ramadans, you citing your example. What is peculiar about the 2025 Ramadan?
Well, it's in the media. Murik has said that Khan should stop talking about an issue that they know nothing about. A Christian Association of Nigeria, they are the most vocal voice, that this is a Muslim issue, that they shouldn't intervene. The National Association of Nigerian Students are also warming up. They are giving ultimatum to go on
JUROR Innocent
demonstration for
Please,
this.
Religion or not, these children have a right under Chapter 2 of the Child Rights Act.
Rights to education.
Yes, right to education. It's there in their own law. So the fact that we have a religious body does not mean the child's rights should be eroded on the instance of the religious.
JUROR Evans, can we quickly ride on what Munich is saying? Because if you are talking to another religious association and you are telling them to shut down, shouldn't CAN be representing Christians in all of the states that schools have been shut down? Are there only Muslims
The case is asking that there are Muslims.
So are you going to have a separate teachers to teach the Christian students?
Even CAN is advocating for the educational right of Muslim students presently deprived, alongside Christian students, and possibly Christian-owned schools in those states who completely
have no business. They have no business with Ramadan at all. It's like saying that we are closing down all schools during Lent. Incidentally, Lent also started this Wednesday, right? Now say, Christians are fasting. Our own fast is even midnight to 6 p.m. the next day. It's not. It's not
for 40 days.
For 40 days. It's not dusk to dawn to dusk. It is 18 hours, right? We now say, we are usually tired. We shut down all institutions in all Christian states. But we said that we are secular.
Okay, we will leave you to further contemplate with that. It's still unfolding in the media. I will proceed now, so I'll move to another case. When we return, JUROR JUMOKE will be talking on the case titled Natasha's Petition, Dead on Arrival. Stay with us, please.